What is going on, everybody? Welcome in to the Retro Sentai Wrap-Up, the show where we go over some of the older episodes in Super Sentai history. We're starting off with Jetman, and then going through the list of stuff that's available. I am your host, Bryce West. I am a writer and editor for the Illuminerdi.com, and these are my co-hosts. Blackwing, go ahead.
That's you, Blackwing.
I was waiting for Ian to go first.
Blackwing's turn. So on, let's go.
Blackwing.
What's good, people? It's Blackwing 2040. Happy to be here.
We're gonna get better at this. I promise, folks. We're gonna.
I was waiting for Ian to go first.
See, on it's all connected. We kind of have a flow that we go. It was Corbin, me, and Richard, but maybe here right now we'll distinguish that I go first, Blackwing goes next, and then Ian goes last. All right, how about that?
Yeah.
By the way, hi.
Yeah. Is that your intro, Ian?
That's my intro.
What is going on, everybody in the chat as well? Matthew Thompson says hello. Jared Hodges says sup, everyone, including Blackwing and Bryce. No Ian, yikes. No.
I guess I'm out of here then. I mean,
yikes. Sorry, Ian.
and
Well, I think we know who the favorites are on the show. No, I'm kidding. But welcome everybody into the show. We all are happy to be here, and happy to be talking about some Jetman here with you guys for today. And last week we talked about the sort of series premiere, the two-parter to get it all started off. So we talked about those two episodes, and this week we're going to be discussing episodes 3 through 5. Episode 3 is kind of still a continuation of getting the team still together, because at the end of last episode, Guy still was reluctant to join the team, and then episodes 4 and 5 are a little bit of a two-parter focusing on the White Ranger. So with that being said, I think we're going to head straight into our discussion, of these episodes. And I really liked episode 3. What did you guys think?
It was good. It was like a mixture of, like you said, the team still trying to get themselves together. Yeah. Ryu trying to get, Guy to continuously join the team. Of course, Guy's very reluctant on that. But yeah, it was a very nice continuation from episode 2.
yeah, I really liked how they've pushed it from the second episode, but what I also liked was the training scene that the commander had the other 3 Rangers who were not trained, kind of putting them into boot camp, and them just like, oh, I don't want to do it. Like, it's too hard.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, you finally see that transition to say, hey, they are becoming Jetman, right. So they're becoming Rangers. So it's very, very interesting to see the training process.
Right. So that's how the episode. Well, actually, no, that isn't how the episode starts off. The episode starts off with just like a man in his house or whatever, and then his faucet comes to life and chokes him, I believe, to death. Am I wrong in saying that?
Nope, you're not wrong. Chokes him.
Because there was like definitely blood and everything. So,
yeah, definitely absorbed him, and then you just see blood dripping out the faucet. It was just wow.
Oh, we got Jezzer in the chat from the Ranger Wrap-Up. What's up, Jezzer? How's it going? Thanks for joining. But so the episode starts off in glorious fashion with a dude being choked to death by his own faucet. This is Jetman for you, I guess. This is probably the darkest season, but
it's one of.
And so we start off with that, and then we kind of go into that little training sequence. Where the commander is training the Rangers, and they're kind of struggling a little bit because they're not warriors like Ryu and Rie were. Those two were trained for this, and the others were pretty much chosen by accident. And so I think that's definitely an interesting dynamic to see, you know, because it's nice to see. I think I talked about this last time, but you know, they're just because they have powers doesn't automatically mean they're going to be, you know, great superheroes. You know, I mean, they weren't trained for this, so I like the fact that they're inexperienced, and you know, without Ryu around, as we'll see later on in the episode, they really struggle because he really is the only one who was trained to become a Jetman. So I really like the fact that they haven't just gone, oh, they're Rangers now, so they're going to be perfect. You know, I don't usually like it whenever shows do that, because I mean, you know, they're not Rangers. I think it's kind of like the Jungle Fury effect, to where, you know, Casey, you know, he wasn't a Paishwa master, he was a Towel boy, and you see him him develop throughout the season like that. So I'm excited to see something similar happen with the 4 other Rangers besides Ryu here. But yeah, and then so as you could probably imagine, the monster is faucet themed this episode, but you know, so that was kind of an interesting thing there, where the faucet's always like trying to choke people. Now, was the commander one of the people who got choked out by the faucet? Like, is that
she
No.
was, but she was okay. She's getting choked out, and then she finds some
like a knife or something?
Yeah, like a knife, and cuts the faucet
Right.
up.
Yeah.
First of all, just so you guys know, the commander, she is no joke. This woman is fierce.
I know.
She's combat ready.
I wish we could have seen her as a
cookie.
ranger, but they weren't really doing 6th Rangers back then. So
Nope.
I feel like if they
Yeah.
were, it would have either been her or Rie. But
Hey, she's a tough mentor, you know, commander as it is.
Yeah.
So that's great.
well, Psycho here in the chat says Commander Aya is one of the best mentors in Sentai, and from what I've seen so far, I would definitely be inclined to agree. I mean, again, me and Ian or Ian and I are kind of new to this, but you know, she's definitely pretty badass. So yeah, I'm interested. I'm looking forward to seeing more of her as the season goes on. But yeah, and the majority of this episode is about Ryu and Guy still fighting with each other about whether or not Guy is going to join the team or not. You know, of course, Ryu is like, you know, you need to join the team. It's your duty. You're a Jetman now. It doesn't matter what you think. You know, the Birdonic waves chose you or something, and so it is now your duty to save the world. And we get another classic. You know, Guy punches Ryu in the gut. You know,
This time, last time it was in the face. This time it's in the gut.
You know, I kind of wish they'd have one every episode. Like you know, where's Guy gonna punch Ryu next? No,
That'd be fun.
Oh man, that'd be hilarious. But you know, so that's like constant, you know, battle between the two of them. Eventually, they have a race. And the faucet monster, you know, attacks some children or whatever, or some civilians, and you know, he kind of goes off the track to help them, and then Guy finishes the race, and he goes, you're weak, you know, I finished the race, you couldn't focus on the race or whatever, I won, so I'm not going to join the team, yeah, I mean, it's kind of interesting though, because of how adamant he was to not join, and then to see him once he does, like, it's almost like that never even happened. Like, you know, I kind of wish they would have continued on that a little more. But yeah, and then meanwhile, the other Rangers aren't really doing too hot either, because his name is Raita.
Yes,
is that what it
Raita.
is? Yeah. Okay. So,
Raita.
Yeah. I'm still working on the names, but yeah, they're doing some training with tires, and the girls both tie their tires to his, and they're going up the hill.
I'm surprised he didn't even notice, but he was still going up the hill very well.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Nothing, like, he didn't even notice that they tied the tires to him. So the fact that he didn't notice and get mad at them, I was like, wow.
Yeah, I know. And then of course he's like super tired afterwards, but then magically out of nowhere, a faucet, a garden faucet appears, or whatever, or a park faucet appears. he runs over to the faucet, but then the faucet wraps around him and starts choking him out, and then he's able to get free, and then the faucet transforms into the faucet monster, and they start getting attacked, and they're go like, Ryu, we need you, or whatever, and so. And then that's whenever we get to the Ryu and Guy stuff, and then once the faucet monster is attacking Ryu, he's definitely having quite a bit of trouble, and it gets to Guy's conscience as he's driving down the freeway or whatever.
Yep.
But then he comes to the freeway all the way back to the middle of nowhere, like hill that they were at. So that was kind of weird, like because he was like totally on the freeway, and then all of a sudden he turns around, and then he's just right back to the middle of nowhere like forest that they were at or whatever. So I think that was a weird continuity decision, but he decides to come back and save the day, or save Ryu, and the other Rangers get there as well, and Guy finally decides to join the team as a Jetman, and they fight, they defeat the faucet monster or whatever, and that's pretty much it. Because I mean, then Guy is pretty much part of the team now, and I think we have it ends off with some scene probably in like the villain's base or something.
Yeah, the villains are like pop up and just say, "Oh, congratulations,
oh,
Jetman,
that's
you're
right,
all
yeah.
officially assembled." And they're like, "But don't settle down because the game is just beginning." Supervillain monologue and threatening the team. Usual stuff.
And the Guy tries to punch him, and then it's just nothing. It's
Guy's quick answer to everything is a punch.
No, if Guy doesn't like something, you're gonna get bopped. So, oh man, I do kind of have a problem, and we'll get to that here in the later episodes. But Guy, basically, as soon as he joins the team, becomes a whole lot nicer to everyone else. He still isn't very nice to Ryu, but he seems to be very friendly with everyone else, and including one Ranger in particular. But I mean that I can kind of see because that's kind of part of his character. But yeah. So I mean, overall, I did think that it was a good episode. I think as a standalone episode, it was really good. But then watching the other ones after, I kind of had little problems with Guy's character development as because I mean he is like so adamant that he's not going to join the team that he punches Ryu in the face, in the stomach, or he throws pool balls at him or whatever.
When he was doing that, I was thinking like in my mind, I'm thinking that like, Guy, if you wanted my attention, you would have just come over here and just say, "What's up?"
So yeah, and then he just kind of goes to being okay with it, So I don't know if I necessarily like the fact that it was just like a complete shift like that. I understand that at some point the writers have to move on and start making him a part of the team, but I feel like it was a little quick with how adamant he was about not joining the team in episodes 2 and 3. But overall, I did like this episode. What are we gonna rank this out of? Are we gonna go to a general like bird eggs or something? Or are we gonna go like pool balls thrown at Guy's head or something?
Let's do
bird eggs. We don't want to bother changing it every
eggs.
episode. Okay.
Let's do it bird eggs.
So I give it about 3.5 bird eggs out of 5. Just simply because for the fact of how easily Guy was switched into joining the team. I feel like that should have been a little more of a battle. I mean, he pretty much drives down the freeway, turns around, comes back, boom, joins the team, and then is perfectly fine thereafter. So I think that's kind of why I rank it so low for me. But what do you guys think?
I give it about I'll probably give it like the same thing, 3.5. I was thinking about giving it a 4, but I'm gonna stick with 3.5 bird eggs out of 5.
I'm gonna go with 4 out of 5, mainly because I really liked the training scene with Raita, Naori, and Kaori and Ako. So I mean, it really shows that, hey, these aren't Rangers yet. They need to train. They need to learn. So I really like that. A lot going on. So I'll give it a 4 out of 5.
And another thing, how Guy had a little run-in with a female police officer. I'm just like, dude.
Oh, I forgot about that.
Oh my gosh, I forgot about that.
Maybe a 3.75 now. Yeah.
I'm like, dude, you're creeping up on a female police officer. I'm surprised.
Oh my gosh! Yeah, and then he runs the red light, and then he gets pulled over.
Exactly.
But then he runs off, and then Ryu chases him. But then the police officer, instead of chasing after him, goes, "Am I really that pretty?" or something like that. It's just. So yeah, I upped my score to 3.75 bird eggs out of 5. I think. Oh man. But with that being said, before we move on to episode 4, I think we're gonna catch up with chat a little bit. To start off, everybody's loving that Jezzer is in the chat. Me too. Welcome Jezzer. Matthew Thompson says Jeffrey Kensaki is the 6th Ranger, the Green Eagle, manga exclusive though. Yeah, I did actually know that. Yeah.
I thought he replaced Guy.
Oh well, spoiler. But yeah, technically yes. Technically, yeah.
It's like if we shouldn't really even mention that because that is kind of a spoiler.
Yeah, that's like a major spoiler.
Yeah.
But yeah. So I did know that there's a Green Ranger in the manga. Donnie Pearson says hello Bryce, Blackwing, Ian, and all. Hope everyone is well this afternoon. A week or so since I have begun binge watching Jetman on Tubi. Well, Donnie, I'm glad that you're watching this show along with us. So it gives us a lot more to talk about here in the chat with you giving your own rankings and stuff like that. Psycho says Guy Yuki is a product of his time, and we won't get a character like him again. I 100% agree. Guy would not at all work in 2021. No way.
Oh
no way! No way!
Absolutely not.
Matthew Thompson.
Absolutely not.
Matthew Thompson gives this episode 3.5 out of 5 confusing guy moments. There you go. Jared Hodges says a solid 3 for me because of Guy. Is it because of his confusing moments like Matthew said, or was that the only good part of the episode for you? Let us know.
I feel like as we go through, a lot of people are going to start not liking Guy at first in the beginning.
Yeah, no, and I don't really blame him. I mean, he's really kind of an a-hole, but I am excited to see his character grow as we move forward. So, with that being said, I think that wraps up our discussion for episode 3. Ian, you have episode 4, correct?
Yeah, episode 4, The Fighting Bride. This starts in the jet machine. So all 5 Rangers are in the jet machines. They're flying, trying to get, probably learning how to fly because none of them have learned how to fly before except for probably Ryu. And so Kaori is very, very nervous as she's flying, and Commander's telling her to hold tighter onto the joystick. And so they begin their training, and Wright is picking up rocks, and Akko is testing the wing cutter. Guy plummets through targets in his jet condor. However, Kaori is still having problems with her vehicle, and she's trying to shoot the rock that Wright sent to her, but she almost shot him, and luckily, Ryu had to come in and stop it, and the Jet Swan plummeted to the ground, with Kaori declaring that she was done. She wanted to get out immediately, and so we head back to the base. And everybody's like, "Oh!" And Commander's like, "All right, everybody passed except for Kaori." And Ryu just got mad.
Yeah.
Because Kaori's like, can I just be like exempt and all that? And Commander's like, no, you just cannot. And so Ryu was told it really insulted her for her princess-like attitude. And Kaori decided to have enough and just decided to go home. And that was kind of really the whole ordeal between Kaori and Ryu. But whenever Kaori comes back home, she gets a visit from a young man named Soichiro, and he bought her a bouquet of roses and all that. And so then at this, he was asking her if they wanted to get married, then go to New York and to visit, Kaori's parents in New York. But she was like, no, I can't do that. And then
I think after that, then...
Let me see, I'm trying to think.
They kind of have the wedding scene, right?
They kind of do. Well, technically, she explains to Soichiro, like, oh, yeah, I'm a warrior now.
Yeah.
I have these
Oh, and then
powers.
he starts laughing at her. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That's, like, really messed up. Like,
yes.
He doesn't believe her.
I was like, oh, like, really? I'm like, are you sure? Or are you just pulling my leg right now?
Yeah. So they decide to get married, but Soichiro's like, no, you must stay here. And she's like, no. And then he's like, well, why? And then he starts laughing. And then Kaori kicks him in the nuts and then runs off.
I love the over-the-top violence in this show.
Oh, yeah.
People getting
the funny
punched,
thing is
people getting kicked in the groin.
People getting grabbed and then thrown, like episode 2.
Yeah. Yeah. And so she decides to steal a motorcycle while still in her wedding dress. And I don't know how the dress gets caught in the wheels. I don't know how.
Yeah, that's true.
And finally runs to join the friends against the road monster, which was like a street light or whatever. That was the
gosh,
villain.
yeah, and then can we talk about that real quick? Like that first scene where like the lights are going crazy and like the bridge, like the roads are like flipping up. Like I was like, that would be like a major like event level catastrophe. Like that would be in the history books if I were in real life. If that something like that happened, like imagine how many people died in that scenario. Seriously, like that was like absolute carnage. Like that was unbelievable. Like, holy cow, man.
Yeah. So, I believe this is the road dimension. Does it get bigger? Yes. Okay. Yeah. So it grows into a giant, and so they're getting the jet machines. And Kaori is like, oh no, I still have not learned how to figure out this flying contraption. I don't know what to do. And so they fly off, and everybody is doing their thing, but Kaori is still trying, and she fires at the road dimension, but she can't control it. She causes her machine to crash, and Ryu is like, all right, we need to him and Guy attack the road dimension and force it underground. But we then pan into the Jet Swan, where Kaori is still laying in there unconscious, and that's to be continued.
Yeah, it's a pretty grim ending to the episode. You know, the White Ranger's just kind of like laying down, like at her in her cockpit right there. I mean, definitely a very interesting episode. This is kind of the first episode where we get to really fully see what the normal Ranger dynamic is going to be. In this season, I believe. Yeah. So I definitely enjoyed that. The road monster scenes, especially at the beginning, like I mentioned before, were like absolutely wild. Like those were like crazy. Like just with like the roads like splitting up and like flipping upside down and like all the cars like crashing on top of each other. It's just like holy cow.
I just like the close-ups the close-ups of the people in the car. Just go flying.
It was straight up brutal.
Oh man, yeah. I mean, those actors did a great job of acting like the road was flipping upside down, or like whatever. But some of that was like absolutely ridiculous. But yeah, I mean some of that stuff was pretty crazy, and I definitely liked seeing the character development with Kaori, because you know she definitely was. I mean, as we mentioned last episode, she pretty much was the rich girl. of the team, and
Yeah.
and we're starting with her right off the bat, giving her some character development and growing her to become a very strong, valuable asset to the team as we continue into the next episode. So I definitely.
And what's interesting is how she was still pissed off at Ryu just for calling her a princess, and when they were arguing, and Soichiro was like right there on the spot trying to figure like what's going on. Like, oh, you still think I'm a princess? Like,
well,
like Soichiro, let's go get married
Ryu
right
calls
now.
her a princess,
Yeah.
and then she goes back to her mansion with her butler or whatever. And yeah, no. So I definitely loved all the Kaori stuff, and that's of course again something that we'll continue into next episode. But Ian, you want to go ahead and give your bird egg ranking?
I would probably give this maybe a 4 out of 5. I mean, I think there was some good developments with Kaori, but it was still a little bit lackluster other than that. And you didn't really see a whole lot from the other 4 Rangers.
Mm-hmm.
It was mainly a focus on Kaori, and a lot of it was a bit too much in my opinion, but I still like the episode nonetheless, and it really continues a lot into part 2. So I'll give it a 4 out of 5.
I agree. I'll definitely give it a 4 out of 5. And I definitely agree with what you said, Ian, because it did focus more on Kaori than the other Rangers. But I still get overall, as a focus episode strictly on her, definitely a 4 out of 5 episode.
Yeah, I definitely give it a 4 out of 5 bird eggs as well. I definitely think, I like these focus episodes because, I mean, there's 5 main characters to focus on, 5 main Rangers to focus on. And so I think it's definitely important that we get these character focus episodes. And I think it was really nice to see us start with Kaori because I think she has the most to go. Besides
Right.
maybe Guy, or I feel like Guy. The problem is that I feel like Guy should have more, but I don't think, at least as of right now, they're giving him more. Because he, again, like I said, he just kind of up and joins the team. He just all of a sudden changes his mind after punching Ryu in the face and the stomach and the whatever like a bunch of times. But I think other than Guy, I think Kaori has the most to mature and to improve. And so I definitely liked seeing that. So I give it a 4 out of 5, and I think you'll probably see a even higher score in the next episode for me. But let's see what everybody in the chat here is saying about this episode. Matthew Thompson comes in and says 4 out of 5 logic defined wedding dresses. Matthew, if we're gonna go to bird eggs, Matthew Thompson is keeping us straight with the random ranking scale. I love it, Matthew. Thank you for that. Metal Ryan
so good.
Cluster gives it a 3 out of 5. Okay. Is there any reason why it's a 3 out of 5? Be sure to let us know. Let's see. Oh, Donnie Pearson just ranks all of them all at once. Says 10 out of 10 for episodes 3 through 5. Okay, so you really like these episodes. And Jared Hodges also gives it a perfect score, 5 out of 5. So there we go. So
Okay.
that is. I think, unless anybody else has anything to add about this episode, are we ready to move on?
Yeah, just about.
I think let's
Alrighty, Blackwing, this is all you, man. Episode 5.
All right, so episode 5 picks up right where episode 4 takes off. Kaori is now left. I don't want to say disabled, but she can't. Her legs are pretty much weakened or paralyzed, and she's still, trying to prove to Ryu that she's not, a princess, that she is a
commander.
warrior.
Commander said that she's not actually paralyzed. It was more of like a fear kind of thing. Like she was too scared to use them or whatever. Yeah.
And that's very real. That's a very real, relatable thing to have. So the fact that she's, trying to prove to the team that, she's not weak, she is strong, but she does have a fear of, flying her Zord, and Guy is trying to help her out, and Rio's like, don't help her out. She has to figure this out on her own. So leave her alone for a bit. Yeah. And the team gets straight up jumped by two generals. Well, not two generals. All three of the generals from Vyram. They get jumped by Maria. They get jumped by Gray, who's pretty much like. First of all, this robot can drink and smoke.
Yeah. I saw. Yeah, I remember that. The where he has a cigarette in his mouth, and it's just like this like robot monster or whatever.
Oh.
I thought that was funny.
I'm like, this robot puts a cigarette in his mouth, uses it, lights it up with his finger, and then starts smoking. And he also drinks. I'm like, okay. So he goes out, tries to test his power against the Jetmen. He starts shooting at Guy and Kaori. They try to find cover. Guy drives a motorcycle onto Gray, and it explodes, thinking that he destroyed it. I'm like, nope, I can't be destroyed that easily.
Yeah.
Which was very interesting. And Guy and Kaori escape, and they're trying to, talk it out and everything. And Kaori's asking Guy, like, why do you hate Ryu so much? I'm like, I just don't like his good guy attitude. That's it. And then he's looking at her, and he touches her hand, trying to, it's like, oh, so do you have feelings for me or something? And then she just smacks him real hard across the face. I'm just like, it's about time.
Do you think there's ever going to be an episode where a ranger doesn't just like slap or punch or kick someone? Like,
I feel like maybe there's just like maybe one or two. There could be more. I think
it feels like it's been every episode except for the first that somebody has been punched, kicked, slapped. Like so.
Like everybody's getting like a wake up call maneuver on them. It's ridiculous. Yeah. So, of course, she apologizes for doing that, but she's like, nope, no, I don't really have feelings for him whatsoever. So. And then
Guy questions her, right? And then
she
goes, "Oh, you have feelings for Ryu," and then boom, they get attacked. But
yeah, they get attacked again, and then Maria shows up, and then Ryu starts to confront her, and then he takes a little bit of a pause and looks at her like, "Wait a minute, Rie, is that you?" And he hesitates immediately, and then right when him and Kaori were about to fall into a crevice, Rie has Ryu tied with, I don't know what weapon this is, but I guess it's a whip that she has.
Yeah, it's sort of like a whip thing.
Yeah, she has the whip tied around his neck, choking him to death so that he would let her go. And then Kaori finds the spirit to straight up jump and then Chun-Li kick Maria right across the field. It was just amazing. So she found the inner spirit to be brave and everything. They defeat They also confront Tran, who's like the little kid general of Vyram, and he's controlling this car with. Didn't they used to have like those gamer gauntlets back in the day? Because that's like exactly
the power glove or something. Like
yes,
the power glove. Yes.
Like this kid got a power glove gamer gauntlet on his hand.
Well, can I mention real quick that kid is creepy. Like seriously, that dude gives me the creeps. I mean, in a good way. I mean, he's supposed to be he's a bad guy, but yeah, that kid is creepy.
Yeah, creepy and dangerous. So he's able to control a car with just like a button, no hacking device whatsoever. He tries to traps the team like a triangle-shaped brick wall and shoots arrows through the brick wall trying to kill the team, but that doesn't work. And Ryu's holding onto the car that Tran is controlling, and he flies over the car off a cliff, and that's just and the car explodes while he's flying off the car at the same time. It's just like these guys are getting put through the ringer here.
They definitely were not in. I mean, they were definitely in a lot of trouble there.
Yeah, they were. So then the road dimension monster shows up back again, and so the team decides to get back to their jet machines and try to perform the combination that they need to practice. And sure enough, they were able to do it, and they got to transform into. It's like a combiner ship. I forgot what it's called. Like I'm looking it up right now.
Icarus Haken, I believe it's. I think I have it pulled up here. Icarus Haken. Icarus Haken. That's what it's called.
Yeah, I just couldn't pronounce the name of it. But yeah, that's just Icarus Haken. So yeah, that's basically like the combination ship of all 5 Zords together, and they perform the finisher Jet Phoenix, where pretty much the ship turns into a phoenix, flies through the monster, and monster defeated. So yeah, that's pretty much the end of the episode. The funny moment, Raisa asks Kaori, so like, Kaori, is your legs really okay? Like, you want to see? She kicks him right.
Oh, well, see, there you go again. Like Kaori gets a two for one deal in this episode. She slaps a guy across the face and then kicks Raisa in the groin.
Okay, guy really
yeah,
did
no, guy, but Raisa didn't do anything. Like,
why did Raisa
do anything? He was just being polite.
You were just asking her if she was okay.
Oh my god.
Exactly. I'm just like, okay, you didn't need to do all of that. I know that was just a comedic beat, but
that was
she didn't do that.
Yeah, that was definitely a little unnecessary right there. Oh man.
But yeah, that's pretty much the end of the episode. It kind of closes out with Radiget in the villain lair saying like, Jetman, the game is just beginning, and then like the mirror kind of shifts into like a new form that he has. And of course, that's gonna play into the next episode, and of course, we'll save that for next week.
Alrighty, well, Blackwing, what are your thoughts on this episode? What are you gonna, what ranking are you gonna give it?
Well, wait, I'm about to say, slapping guy, kicking Raita in the gut, overcoming her fears, and pretty much giving Maria a kick across the field. This episode, it's a 5 out of 5 episode, and everyone. I would say just about everyone kind of gets something to do. Mainly just, Guy, Ryu, and Kaori. So this episode does definitely get a 5 out of 5.
Yeah.
I'm going to give...
Go ahead, Ian.
Oh.
Go ahead.
Sorry.
Yeah, nope, go ahead.
I was going to give this maybe a 4.5 out of 5. Mainly because it was a great improvement on the last episode. There were still things like I really wish they would have done the Megazord in this episode. Probably might do it in the next episode. I don't know. I haven't seen it yet. But it's a lot of improvement. It really focuses Kaori a lot better in this episode than it does in the last episode.
So I think one thing that we haven't mentioned yet is Guy is really dumb. Because of that one scene where he's trying to get him and Kaori to escape from the monster, and he goes over the train tracks. It's just
my gosh!
It's like, dude, like you could have done that a million different ways, but then the wheelchair gets stuck on the train tracks, and he's still trying to like pull her, and it's just like, dude, just like you're strong, pick up the chair and get her out of there. Like it's just like for real. I mean, she's a small woman. She doesn't look like she weighs that much. So it seemed like Guy would just be able to pick up the chair and get her out of the way, but he's still pretty trying much to like take her like over the tracks, and then she gets stuck like basically like right as she goes over the tracks. So instead of just taking her back and pulling her off of that one rim of the track, he then proceeds to try to get her over the entire track instead of just the one part that she had went over. Like it's kind of hard to explain just like over but
man.
But yeah, that was kind of stupid. But I mean, besides that odd moment, I think I agree with Blackwing in giving it a 5 out of 5, especially just for the character moments in general. And then we kind of get the official reveal for Rie being Maria.
Yep.
And so I think that was definitely really interesting to see. I'm definitely looking forward to that dynamic coming here in the future as well, because obviously that's going to be a huge part of the show. But let's see what you guys are saying in the chat right now. What will Jetman be called if it was adapted for Power Rangers a long time ago? That's an interesting question, Metal Ryan Cluster. What are your guys' thoughts on that?
I don't know. Okay, actually, check this out. So, a few years back when I discovered Super Sentai, I found this video on YouTube that said Power Rangers Condor Force. that they gave for Jetman. I know that was fan made, dude, but yeah.
Yeah, I think mine would be something ridiculous like Power Rangers Birdonic Squadron or something. Yeah. I think that I mean, just with how ridiculous this show is, I think it would almost fit, so.
I would probably. Oh man. Uh, how about Skywaves? I don't
Power
know.
Rangers Skywaves.
Power Rangers Skywaves.
Yeah, I mean, it kind of works.
That works.
Yeah.
I like it. Let's see what else we have here. Matthew Thompson says the actor who plays that kid in Jetman also plays another character in Jew Ranger. Still creepy though. Let's see, and then he also gives this episode a 4.5 out of 5 Ranger on Ranger violence for the episode. Jared Hodges gives this episode a 5 out of 5. It's just funny how the Rice Slap and Kick is funny to me. And then he also says Mighty Morphin Condor. So there you go. So I guess that's what Jared would call Jetman if it were adapted here in the States. But we've still got a little bit left to go. So if you guys have any questions or anything that you guys want to talk about, definitely be sure to ask away here in the chat. But yeah, what are you guys' thoughts on all 5 episodes so far? Like, what do you think about this season as a whole so far?
Well, of course, since this is my first time rewatching the show, because I know there's some things I remember about the season, some things I've forgotten, and I did remember the bit about like the training aspect of them trying to learn how to use the swords. I forgot about the part where Kaori got injured, but surely as I go through the show, a lot of things will come back to me. But overall, the first 5 episodes, of course, are great. It just, you're getting to know the team, you're getting to know the characters, you get to know the villains' motives, and, you start to see how the team develops in the beginning. So, yeah, it's still great.
Yeah, I really enjoy it, mainly because the first 3 episodes really tied in together, and then the next 2 episodes are really tied in together as a whole. So it's not just totally different episode. Like we just disregard like what happened in the previous episode. This is a new day, a new episode. I just like the continuation that Jetman has really brought in.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I definitely love that as well. I like all of the characters so far. So far, we definitely do have quite the lack of Raita and Akko. So so I'm hoping that we're going to be getting some more focused episodes for those 2 here soon, because I feel like we've gotten a lot of Ryu, Guy, and Kaori at this point. So I'm hoping like the next couple episodes are going to be more Raita and Akko focus. I think those 2 definitely need some time to shine here in the next couple of episodes. But overall, so far, I am really enjoying this season so far, and I can't wait to see where they go from here with this, because I've heard so much constant praise about Jetman, and now we're finally we're getting into it. We're doing the Retro Sentai wrap up, and so I'm definitely excited to see does it live up to the hype, and yeah, I am just really looking forward to that so far. Donnie Pearson says that in regards to probably one of the names that we said for Jetman for Power Rangers, that would have been a great idea if that English-speaking adaptation of Jetman would have happened, and then when it would have aired on either NBC or ABC. Is there a specific reason why you think it would air on NBC or ABC? Because I know back in the show's infancy, it started on Fox. And then whenever Disney bought it, they took it over to Jetix, and then on RPM it was ABC, and I think a lot of the other ones aired on ABC as well, but like a little bit after. Definitely let us know about that. But I know for a fact that Power Rangers never aired on NBC. That'd be crazy, kind of. That'd be wild. NBC picking up Power Rangers. That would be. I mean, it definitely. I mean, the ratings would have been through the roof. Because NBC. I mean, just think about how many NBC affiliate networks are out there. So I mean, like every major local city pretty much has an NBC affiliate. So, yeah, I mean that would definitely, and there's also a channel you can get through the airways. So all you need is an antenna to pick it up. So yeah, I mean, we talk about how low the ratings for Power Rangers are right now, but yeah, if they went on something on NBC, yeah. Donnie Pearson just says, just saying, Bryce. Oh, okay. So it's just a thought.
Just
okay.
a thought.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, it'd be cool if it aired on something like NBC. You know, I don't necessarily think that the NBC is the home for something like that, and even really ABC anymore, because they don't really have ABC Kids anymore. I think maybe if Power Rangers finally were to do something more adult oriented for the older fans, I think that maybe that could be something that they do. But I feel like if they were to do a show like that, I think it would probably be a really good fit on something like the CW with what you see with shows like Riverdale. You know, how they take these otherwise kid properties and they take
and then just turn it into a big drama, because that's what CW is known for. They
pretty
love
much
to add drama.
Yeah. So I don't know if necessarily they need to go the full Riverdale route with that, of course, but I think that's probably something around, what they would probably do.
Right.
If they were to make a more adult-oriented show. I'm just kind of going off with that based off of, the 2017 movie, what they did with Lionsgate, because that pretty much felt like a CW romp, at least with the characters.
It did.
And all. So, yeah, it would definitely be interesting, though, to see a darker take on Power Rangers on a bigger network like that. But it seems like with everything with like streaming and stuff now, that probably would be the route that they would go. But I think the chat's kind of dying down. I think we're done with all the Jetman stuff. So are you all ready to wrap up here for today, or do you guys have anything else you would want to add?
Pretty much. I have nothing else to add or say.
Yeah, I'm pretty good.
Alrighty, well, with that being said, guys, I think we're going to wrap up today's episode of the Retro Sentai Wrap-Up. It has been a pleasure doing this with all you guys for today, talking with everyone in the chat as well. Thank you guys so much for watching. Be sure to subscribe to the Illuminerdi and turn on post notifications and all that jazz, to keep notified of all the stuff we got going on. We got a Power Ranger show, a Retro Power Ranger show, a Super Sentai show, our Retro Super Sentai show. We got It's All Connected with Marvel, DC, Star Wars. We got a wrestling show, Star Trek show. We got something for pretty much everybody. Yep. So if you love all this nerdy geek culture stuff, definitely be sure to subscribe. Turn on those post notifications to Illuminerdi, and be sure that you check everything out. With that being said, Blackwing, you have any parting thoughts?
Thanks you guys so much for watching, and I'll give my social plugs. You can follow me on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch at Blackwing2040. No space in between the Blackwing and 2040. I just like to point that out because I know that can be like a common mistake sometimes.
Yeah, there you go. Ian?
Subscribe today.
Yeah, there you go.
Subscribe to the Illuminerdi.
With those inspiring words from Ian, I'm going to wrap it off here as well. We got our social medias here on our cool looking banners over here. Oh, Blackwing's over there. And then Ian, he doesn't really have a Twitter, so he didn't get one. Be sure to follow us on Twitter. And again, just stay tuned for the Illuminerdi. Check out the Illuminerdi.com as well. We break a bunch of cool scoops on there. So, with that being said, I feel like I've said that about 1 million times already, but we're wrapping it up here. Thank you all so much for watching, and we'll see you next week for some more Retro Sentai Wrap Up. See you, everybody.
Laters.